Welcome back. Back in December, the community, thanks to fundraising efforts, helped save Humboldt State football. Veteran head coach Rob Smith, who led the Lumberjacks to 2 GNAC titles, was also expected to return for his 11th season with the green and gold. But that changed when Smith made the decision to resign. The veteran coach held a press conference today at the Baywood Golf and Country Club to tell us why he made the decision to leave the sidelines. It's not how Rob Smith wanted his Humboldt State coaching career to come to an end. But after 10 years with the program, the veteran coach made the difficult decision to resign.
It's frustrating when I look at the program that we've built, the accomplishments over the years, and now see what's being done to that program. That's hard to take, and I do take it personally. I have spent 10 years of my life, the last 10 years of my life, giving my best to Humboldt State. And I think that's been disrespected. I think there's been a tremendous lack of appreciation for what we have built by people that have not been there very long.
Since the retirement of Dan Collin, Duncan Robbins is the second interim athletic director. He started last June, but according to Smith, his relationship with Robbins got off to a rocky start.
The third day on the job for the new athletic director, I met with him, and he told me that he was brought in, and those were his words, all right, to drop the football program. It was, we're either going to drop the program or we're going to scale the program back to really a non-competitive level. And he said that's what he was brought in to do. So that's how our relationship started, okay? And, you know, so went all season with knowing that the university is moving this direction, and we're trying to save it from a community standpoint, and from a team standpoint, we're trying to be successful on the field and protect our players the best we can.
Assistant Corey White is the acting football coach at Humboldt State. Smith has this advice for the next leader of the football program.
Number one, have your eyes open and realize the challenge. It is a challenge. This is a tough gig. All right, so much more difficult than my previous job. All right. But the flip side of that is what you get when you do special things. Okay, this is a special place.
The 61-year-old Smith doesn't know what's next. He didn't rule out returning to the sidelines.
I'm open to anything, to be honest. I'll be 61 by next season. My career's gone backwards, Manny, in that I spent 2 seasons as a college assistant coach, 18 months to be exact, and now 27 years as a collegiate head coach. So I'm a career head coach who's going to be 61 by next season. There's a limited market for that. I get it. I'll make the decision based on what's best for my family. For the first time, I feel I made this decision based on what was best for Rob Smith and his family. I don't know if I've done that before.
Joining us now in studio is interim athletic director Duncan Robbins. Duncan, thank you for joining us tonight. After just watching that story, listening to Rob Smith, how do you respond to that?
I think it's really unfortunate that we're losing a fantastic football coach who's had a decade of his life invested in this program and HSU and the community. It's not something I wanted to see. Been working on it hard since he came in with some pretty high demands in December, trying to figure out how we could meet his salary needs and what he wanted to invest in this program, which we all want, but we're under budget constraints.
You know, when you do hear Smith say that your guys' relationship was not the best, even from the start, you know, he told us that you told him that pretty much the program was going to be eliminated, or it was going to be scaled back, and it could be difficult to compete. You know, what can you say about that? Was that conversation held?
We had a conversation early on. I tend to be a very frank, open person and bring facts to every conversation I bring to. The conversation we had was about the $900,000 deficit that we were facing. The fact is that we were either going to have to cut back our programs or lose a program. And what I was trying to figure out with the coach, as well as other coaches, is where could we cut if we needed to cut. And it was pretty clear from Coach Smith at that time that there was no compromise. He either was going to lose his program, or he was going to have to do something else. So our job at that point was to figure out how to save the program, and that's how we got started in fundraising and realizing that we needed to raise a full $1 million.
talking with you today, hearing Coach Smith's decision. It's a difficult time, recruiting, everything else, getting ready for spring football. What can you tell the community out there, the HSU fans that support not only football but other programs? What can you tell them going forward?
Well, I can tell you that we haven't changed our path since the coach has been on vacation. Acting head coach Corey White has done a great job making sure that we're out recruiting, and then from there we have a 10th game already on the schedule, and we're going to come into spring training camp ready to go. So I'm looking forward to a good season next year, picking up where we left off.
All right, anything else you would like to add?
Well, I just think that anybody who was listening to Coach Smith understand that he was in a difficult situation. I'm sorry he found himself there, but he chose to take a very negative approach, and a lot of what he said, there's a completely other side to it, and I look forward to being able to answer questions about that whenever anybody wants to have that conversation.
All right, we'll continue to follow this story at HSU football. Duncan, thank you for joining us in studio tonight.
Thank you very much.
Stay with us. We're back after this.